Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Happy end of Wednesday. Say hello to my friend Wilson. He's still with us. He's spectacular. And he's mobile now. Now he can be Wilson over here, Wilson over here, Wilson over here. But he likes to sit and just watch. All righty. So let's dive in if we could. Why don't we have... Oh, I do see that Mr. Steve Scott is not there. But April Fury has someone who's very curious. Hello, next to April. Oh, too curious. Love it. So let's let me announce this first, and then when Steve comes back, he can announce his shift winners. So one of the things I showed you yesterday, if you remember, was was the page on KW Kids Can for Gary's Quantum Leap for Young Adults, which will go off via Zoom this year instead of having to go down to Austin, which is typically the only way you can do it, on June the 25th, with an extra day on the 26th with a workshop. And so you'll get information on this late tonight into tomorrow morning, but we will be offering a contest inside of our market centers. We encourage you to take that contest and deliver it into your own databases. And that contest will be, we're going to ask anyone who has a child or a grandchild between the ages of 18 and 28 to take a moment and sit down and write a short essay on leadership. You'll get the exact topic when we announce officially later tonight. We will have a panel of judges, and we will choose from those submissions and pay for either your child or your grandchild to spend that day with Gary on June the 25th. So watch for more details on that. I will tell you that I think I mentioned yesterday, we sent our son down to Austin twice, and it changed his world. So if you yourself are between the ages of 18 and 28, or you know someone, child or grandchild of yours that qualifies, tune them into this contest. We'd love to be able to enroll them in that opportunity later in June. And again, as an idea, I might look at that opportunity and push that same thing that we're pushing out to you, push it out to your database, and you run your own contest inside of your database with people submitting some essays and you choosing a winner, and then you sending one of their kids into the program. Just an idea. All right, Steve Scott, you have shift winners for us.
I do. We have Randy Musiker and Amy Sigampalia. So if you guys already have these, which I think you might, I'm not sure, let's give these to a co-broke agent. So let us know who you want them to go to. Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations to Randy and Amy. That's spectacular. Okay, so many of you have asked, is there any update on the ruling from the MLS over the weekend that I told you I was going to have some conversation around? And the answer is yes. There's no decision yet on the direction we'll take, but there are some better answers, at least. And the answers I received after speaking with a number of people, and then finally Kathy Elson in the middle of the afternoon today, is that this is being driven by fair housing issues. And to be fair to the MLS, because I want to be fair, to be fair to the MLS, I see the potential fair housing conflicts in that one is potentially doing for one or not allowing for one that one is allowing for everyone else. I will tell you, I'm not 100% sold that it is really an issue, which is why I say there is no decision on it yet in terms of how we will proceed. And here's what I just want to address with you. It is my guess that many of you within the sound of my voice right now are saying, oh, please get rid of the forms, please get rid of the forms, because it's simpler. And I get that. I know that because many of you have said that to me in the last 48 hours. Like, why are you fighting this? Because it's so much simpler. It's one less form. The reason I want to have clarity, so I'm not really fighting it. I'm looking for clarity and a valid reason underneath the ruling that is based on something other than fear, right? Because what I said to Kathy Elson before I got off the phone with her was, I get fair housing. I understand that this may be problematic or maybe being viewed as being problematic. I'm curious, have the courts weighed in on this? Has the CHRO weighed in on this, right? And of course, the answer that she gave me was, well, I don't know. And I said, well, I do know. The answer is no, right? Because you're only announcing this on Saturday and it's Wednesday, right? And Monday was a holiday. So there is no precedent. There is nobody's gone through what. Instead, somebody got bent out of shape that they couldn't see a house and made some phone calls. And enough of that has happened now that people are a little fearful. Now, understand that regardless of what I look at overnight into tomorrow, because my hope is that I'll have a decision in terms of what this really looks like for us by tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Regardless of that, we are still at the mercy of an institution that we pay dues to and sign a contract that says we'll follow their rules, which is unfortunate, because Kathy basically said to me, look, you can do whatever you want. We've taken this stand based on NAR and CTR and the guidance we're receiving from our attorneys. And so I asked her, my parting question for her was, so tell me what happens if my brokerages decide that we don't like your rule, and we're going to continue to do what we've done for the last 9 weeks to keep sellers in control of these decisions and keep people safe. What happens then? And she said, good question. I'm not certain. I'll have to ask our attorney. And I said, okay, you do that. I'm going to go and do my research. You do your research about what happens if we take a deferential opinion on this, and we'll come back together tomorrow. So we parted as friends. She's going to see what the repercussions might be. I know what the answer is going to be, guys. I mean, right? So we're playing a little bit of a game here, right? The answer is you signed a document that said that you would follow our rules, or you can be turned off. And so if we choose to not follow the rules, do we run the risk of being shut off from the MLS? Yes. And clearly that's not a position I'm going to put any of you in, because it doesn't really serve any of you, and it certainly doesn't serve the seller, right? So that's a long way of saying that's the progress I've made. Stay tuned. I have a feeling I know where this is going. I don't necessarily like the answer I'll likely have to give you tomorrow, but I do want to do continue my research overnight and make sure that the decision we're going to make is going to be solid. And then if in fact we do make that decision to abide by what the MLS is saying without any further fight, I will let you know how we're going to handle that with sellers. So stay tuned on that, but that's the update. Any questions, comments, or concerns on that or anything else? Okay. So with that, I'm going to give you just a smidge of homework tonight for tomorrow. And I'd love it if you were prepared for 9 o'clock, but if we don't get to it tomorrow at 9 o'clock, depending on how the MLS conversation goes, we may have to get to it till 4:30. But here's the homework. If you remember, I was on a mastermind a couple of weeks ago, and something was pushed out to me. Just PS, I'm actually on a mastermind with Gary right now that started at 4:15 and goes till 6:15. So if we end a smidge early, it's not because I don't love you. it's just because Gary's in the other room having a conversation with us, and I want to make sure I get back to it. But in the last mastermind, I brought you something at the end of that day that went something like this. If you can earn $5,000 at something, you can earn $50,000 at something. If you can earn $50,000, you can earn $500,000. If you can earn $500,000, you can earn $5 million at that same thing. The difference is focus, systems, scale, and I think I added mindset. Do you remember when I brought that to you? Well, one of the things I'd like for you to do tonight into tomorrow morning is go back and look at what you earned last year. What was your total income from last year? And I want you to put a 0 on the end of it. And I want you to look at that new number, and I want you to start thinking and then start writing down, like, what does my world look like? What does it take to accomplish that? Because I want you to start thinking about 10xing things. I want you to start thinking about what it looks like. I want you to start thinking about how does it change my world? Regardless of whether you think it's possible or not. I want you to take possibility or impossibility off the table when you're doing this exercise. It's just simply an exercise to help your mind think bigger. So what does it look like? How many more people do you need to have in your world? Are you still doing it all on your own? Are you doing it all in real estate, or have you added a separate business? What does it look like? Have you taken profit share to an extreme? And how many people do you have in your downline now? What is that feeding you? What are all the pieces of what that looks like for you to create something that delivers what you earned last year with a 0 tacked on the end of it? Does that sound like fun? Sounds like fun to me. By looking at some of your faces, it looks like terror to some of you. My goodness. Right? And here's what's fun, is that you never have to put any of this in place. Do the exercise and then look at it and say, you know what, that's not for me. It's bigger than I think I want to be. But I want you to make that decision once you've actually thought about what it takes to climb to that next level. Don't just allow a limiting belief or the idea of that's not possible, or not possible for me, or not possible now, or not possible when we're at home, or whatever, make that decision for you. I want you to know what it takes and then make a conscious decision about whether you'll pursue that or not. Make sense? Oh, baby, I want to do it now. Ooh. Anybody got anything else? All righty. Well, if nobody has anything else, I am going to ask your permission to end early so that I can jump back in and get some more nuggets from Gary that I can share with you tomorrow. Guys, have a lovely evening. Be awesome. We'll see you tomorrow at 9. Exercise in hand. I'm excited to go through that with you. Take care. See you. Bye.